Charles Barkley's all-time ranking, NBA legends impact without a championship. Phoenix Suns. This might shatter your expectations. Phoenix Suns legend Charles Barkley cracks the top 25 all-time list even though he never won a championship. But here is where it gets controversial. Can a Hall of Famer's legacy ever feel complete without a ring? And this is the part most people miss when debating the greatest players in NBA history. Over the past offseason, the Suns have signaled a fresh direction. They parted ways with superstar Kevin Durant and used their 2025 draft picks to add 3 promising young talents. All signs point toward rebuilding the roster around franchise cornerstone Devin Booker, whose scoring prowess and leadership remain the team's biggest attraction for fans and free agents alike. Think of it like the Miami Heat moving around LeBron James in 2010, or how the Lakers retooled around Kobe back in his prime. Finding the right supporting cast can make all the difference. Meanwhile, the broader basketball world is buzzing after Bleacher Report's recent unveiling of the top 100 players in NBA history. In that ranking, Charles Barkley landed at number 25. On paper, the placement acknowledges his dynamic talent, yet sparks debate because he never reached the ultimate goal, an NBA championship. Bleacher Report's NBA staff summed up the dilemma perfectly. They suggested Barkley's resume feels unfinished without a title. Over time, that lone absence can weigh heavily in all-time discussions. And yet, Barkley earned the league MVP award during Michael Jordan's 1992-93 season. Hardly a fluke. That speaks volumes about his all-around game. He combined power, agility, and skill in a way few big men ever have. For newcomers to basketball lingo, here's a quick breakdown. MVP, Most Valuable Player, awarded each season to the athlete deemed most critical to their team's success. All-Star, a mid-season showcase where fans, players, and media vote for the league's top talents. All-NBA Team, annual honor naming the best players at each position across the entire league. During his 16-year career, Barkley collected 1 MVP trophy, earned 11 All-Star nods, and was named to the All-NBA Team 11 times. He spent 8 seasons with the Philadelphia 76ers, where he became a household name, and then 4 fruitful years in Phoenix, even guiding the Suns to the NBA Finals in 1993-94. Still, without that elusive championship, Barkley's place in the pantheon remains a lightning rod for debate. Some argue rings are the ultimate proof of greatness. Others insist that individual excellence and impact on the game matter more. Which side do you choose? Do you believe a player's worth should be measured by the number of titles they win, or by the talent and excitement they bring to the court? Sound off in the comments. Is ranking Barkley at number 125 fair, or would you move him up or down? And who else deserves more credit, ring or no ring? Why Charles Barkley is the best player to never win an NBA title. Kendrick Perkins highlights Charles Barkley as the greatest player without an NBA championship. In a compelling discussion on the Road Trippin' podcast, Kendrick Perkins, a former NBA player and current ESPN analyst, boldly declared that Charles Barkley is the best player in basketball history who never clinched an NBA title. Perkins emphasized the extraordinary challenges Barkley faced during his career, stating, he was going against monsters. The dominance of Sir Charles. During the 1980s and 1990s, Barkley, standing at 6'4", though often listed as 6'6", consistently delivered impressive performances, averaging 22 points and 11 rebounds per game. His stature did not limit his effectiveness as a power forward. Instead, he leveraged his unique combination of strength, agility, and skill to become one of the most formidable players in the league. Over his 16-season career, Barkley made the playoffs 13 times, but only reached the NBA Finals once, where he faced the Chicago Bulls, a team that dominated the decade. A player ahead of his time, Perkins noted, Charles Barkley was ahead of his time, highlighting his exceptional ball-handling skills and ability to create shots. He faced towering opponents, often 7 feet tall, yet he managed to excel against them. Perkins remarked on Barkley's impressive career averages, underscoring the fact that he was not just a rebounder but also a prolific scorer, maintaining an average of over 20 points per game for 11 consecutive seasons from 1985-86 to 1995-96. Barkley's legacy on the Dream Team. Barkley was not only a standout in the NBA, but also shone on the international stage. He was the leading scorer for the iconic 1992 Dream Team during the Barcelona Olympics, further solidifying his legacy as one of the greatest players of all time. Perkins passionately described Barkley's offensive arsenal, stating, "Charles Barkley had a deep bag when it came down to his offensive skill set." He acknowledged their past disagreements, but maintained that Barkley remains his top choice among power forwards. Perkins provocatively added, "The only reason that he doesn't have a championship is because expletive Jordan was in his way." Close calls and missed opportunities. Barkley came tantalizingly close to winning a championship in 1993 when he was with the Phoenix Suns. After being traded from the Philadelphia 76ers, he led the Suns to a franchise record 62 wins and earned his first MVP award. However, despite having home court advantage in the NBA Finals, the Suns fell to Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls in a hard-fought series, losing 4-2. In a dramatic Game 6, the Suns nearly forced a decisive Game 7, but a last-second three-pointer by John Paxson sealed the Bulls' victory and their third consecutive championship. The final chapter. In 1997, Barkley had one last opportunity to secure an NBA title when he joined the Houston Rockets, teaming up with legends Hakeem Olajuwon and Clyde Drexler. Unfortunately, by the time he arrived, the Rockets were past their prime. Barkley's career ended prematurely in 1999 due to a ruptured quadriceps tendon, leaving him without an NBA championship at the age of 36. A legacy of greatness. Charles Barkley's story is one of incredible talent and perseverance, marked by near misses and fierce competition. His legacy as one of the greatest players to ever play the game remains intact, even without the coveted championship ring. What do you think? Is it fair to label Barkley as the best player to never win a title? Share your thoughts in the comments. Kendrick Perkins praises Charles Barkley, from NBA media war to mutual respect. What if I told you that the fiery NBA feud between Kendrick Perkins and Charles Barkley was actually more about dramatic storytelling than genuine animosity? At first glance, their conflict seemed like a heated personal brawl, Perkins calling Barkley an idiot and Barkley dismissing Perkins as a fool, all played out on national television and social media. It looked like a classic clash of personalities and generational rivalries, fueling ratings and creating plenty of buzz. But here's where it gets controversial. Recent revelations suggest that the whole thing might have been more theatrical than real, with both sides possibly orchestrating the drama to boost viewership during a period of major league transitions. Let's rewind to March 2025, when Perkins boldly claimed on ESPN that the Los Angeles Lakers are saving the NBA, sparking Barkley's sharp response on TNT, dismissing Perkins and praising small-market teams like Cleveland in the process. The exchange grew increasingly personal, with Perkins firing back on Twitter, saying to Barkley, "Tell that senior citizen, I'll address him like the numbers on a house," a line that amplified the heat of their exchange. For months, the tension simmered, fueled by the network's rivalry between TNT and ESPN, each eager to stake their claim on NBA commentary. Behind the scenes, though, cooler heads worked to de-escalate. Figures like Michael Wilbon brokered peace talks. And Perkins later admitted that they squashed that little beef, though the simmering awkwardness lingered. Fast forward to Perkins' appearance on Richard Jefferson's Road Trippin' podcast, and fans expected more fiery shots. Instead, Perkins delivered something unexpected, a sincere act of admiration. During a candid moment, Perkins praised Barkley's greatness, stating, "It's Charles Barkley. It's not even close. He's ahead of his time." Had that MF on the string. He highlighted Barkley's impressive stats, 22.1 points per game and 11.7 rebounds, and his dominance over taller opponents, emphasizing that Barkley's only real obstacle was Michael Jordan. No jokes, no sarcasm, just raw respect. This wasn't just a personal compliment. It transformed the narrative of a feud that had been primarily fueled by ratings and entertainment. Instead of clinging to past insults, Perkins chose to elevate his former rival, signaling a surprising maturity or perhaps a strategic move with ESPN's upcoming Inside the NBA coverage. With the Inside the NBA show shifting networks, this realignment comes at just the right time. Now, let's face it, many of us initially thought their rivalry was genuine. Charles Barkley calling Perkins a fool, Perkins firing back with sharp retorts. But Perkins's recent confession to Stephen A. Smith revealed a different story. He shared how his wife encouraged him to reconsider the bitterness, prompting him to send a calming text to Michael Wilbon, who then mediated peace. Barkley's response followed swiftly. "Big Perk, you're doing an outstanding job. We shouldn't be throwing shots at each other," effectively deflating the entire feud. This shift is more than just about mending a friendship. It's about the larger picture of sports broadcasting and on-air chemistry. What once looked like intense rivalry has now morphed into a scripted, yet more authentic, show of mutual respect. The hype, the insults, the pro-wrestling-esque drama, it was all part of the entertainment, designed to get viewers hooked. Social media metrics reflected this, with a 45% increase in mentions during the height of the feud and a 25% jump in positive sentiment once Perkins made his peace. Interestingly, Perkins and Barkley even appeared together at a charity golf event afterward, smiling and joking, showing that perhaps the best moves in this game aren't just about scoring points, but managing the storylines. In the end, Perkins's public acknowledgement of Barkley's greatness might be his most clever assist yet, not on the court, but in the rapidly evolving world of sports media, where storytelling and perception are just as powerful as athletic performance.